Hey y'all, I'm Leah Lawrence.
And I'm her husband, Mitch Lawrence.
And you are listening to the Southern Spirits Podcast, where I regale my husband with Southern stories of the macabre, creepy, and strange.
And I drink.
So what are we drinking tonight, Mitchell?
Well, this episode is going to come out one day before our wedding anniversary.
Our second wedding anniversary.
Yes, it's June 4th. This will come out on the 3rd. So we're going with some sweet alcohols tonight.
'Cause you're a sweet husband.
Right. And you did tell me that the stories have a romance theme tonight, right?
Well,
somewhat.
It's related.
Okay. Well, that's all that I know, so
yes,
we're going with that. Well, anyway, our beer for the night is Vapor Trail Cream Ale, handcrafted and canned by Rocket Republic Brewing Company in Madison, Alabama. 5.5% alcohol by volume. Let's read the can. Aptly named from the milky white lacing left behind on your glass, a generous amount of honey and biscuit malts lend a bready character to the sweet, smooth, easy-to-drink ale, which paves the trail in our flagship series. Its golden color and unique light taste make it the perfect ale to kick back and relax after a hard day's work and keep you beer engineers coming back for more. The reason it says beer engineers there is because Huntsville is known for the Space and Rocket Center for the most part. There are a lot of rocket scientists and engineers up in this area.
And Redstone Arsenal, which, you know,
right.
it houses a lot of military
missiles, and Madison is
that kind of thing.
Madison's basic. It's its own city, but it's pretty much a suburb of Huntsville.
Yeah, it's right there.
It's a small town in Huntsville, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, about this beer, it's super nondescript. What there is to taste in it is enjoyable. It's light and refreshing. It just doesn't have much going on.
It's a beer that I like to order in a restaurant because it's something that'll go with everything. It's light, it's refreshing, it's nice.
Thank you. You get a little bit of the cream taste, but there's really not much. Nothing positive about it stands out, but I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10 because there are no negatives. So, it's good. You can just drink a whole bunch of them. Like they said in their description, it's easy to drink. I agree. 6.5 out of 10. Liquor for the night. Tennessee Mountain Made Salty Caramel Whiskey. Produced and bottled by Old Smoky Distillery, LLC in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's 30% alcohol by volume. Let's read the bottle. It doesn't really have anything, so this is what it says. Whiskey with... I have something wrong here. Hold on. What did I do?
It just says whiskey.
No. Whiskey with natural flavors and caramel color added. I wrote in my notes whiskey with now flavors and caramel color added. So that's not right.
No.
But it's
what does the bottle say, Mitch?
With
whiskey.
Natural flavor. I just realized I fucked up. I didn't read before I did it. Whiskey with natural flavors and caramel color added. So that's it. Alright, about this. If you don't like sweet, you will not like this. It tastes exactly like it should. It tastes like a salted caramel treat, like a caramel that you would put in your mouth.
It is delicious.
It tastes exactly like salted caramel.
It is magnificent.
I will give this a 9 out of 10 chilled. Don't put it on ice. I put it on ice, and the ice melts and just waters it down, and then you lose all that flavor.
This is one of those things, those sweet things that you leave in the freezer.
Yeah, just drink it cold.
Oh, yeah,
by
girl.
itself.
It's delicious.
I have been drinking it by itself, and I'm a little fucked up. And that's why I typed whiskey with now flavors. Anyway, it's good. Really freaking good by itself.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a 9 out of 10. It also gets a 9 out of 10 with Coke mixed in it, because the Coke pretty much just takes any kind of a cut off of it. Yeah. It's just sweet, salted caramel. So it gets a 9 out of 10 overall. It's not perfect, but it's really fucking good.
And then I personally really like apple anything. So I took an Angry Orchard and I poured that into about half of one of those into a cup and added a shot of that salted caramel to it. And it makes a salted caramel apple, and I love it.
I tried that. It's not my favorite, but it is good. It's really good.
It's quite nice.
Yeah. So we like the whiskey. I'm opening another Vapor Trail real early. I'm sorry. Well, that's it for the alcohols. Should we go into a funny place name right now, or should we go into some shout-outs first?
Let's go directly to listener mail.
Listener mail, we have some.
Because we have listener mail.
We have fans. It is weird. We have fans.
Maybe we don't sing on the podcast, so we keep those fans.
Shit. All right. Well, y'all don't. I won't sing again.
All right, so I think Mitch has our first shout out because
Yeah.
he's the one that's been using it.
Well, I haven't been using it. I'm going to.
Ah.
It's really nice to use. I got to burp first. Excuse me. We were contacted through Instagram by a stationery company called New Amsterdam. That's KNEW. Mm-hmm. Amsterdam. They wanted to send us some of their products to try. So we have one. We have a couple. Leah has a pen that says we are all citizens. She likes that a lot.
It's a cute little enamel pen. I like enamel
Yeah.
pens.
Yeah, so you're not wearing it, but that's okay.
Well, I
We won't
mean,
tell them that.
You don't actually wear the enamel pens. You put it
No.
on bags and on
Or a
cork
towel,
boards.
pen towel. Used to do
Right?
that in baseball growing up. Anyway, but they sent us something else. They sent us a small notebook. It's called their Notebook One, which can be purchased for $8 at their website, newamsterdam.com. That's KNEWAMSTERDAM.com. I'm using it to take my episode notes. And it's really nice. It's really handy. I like it. As long as our dogs don't chew it up, I think I'll use it for quite a while.
Yeah, it's a nice pocket-sized notebook, about 6 inches or so, and it's got a nice little rubber band closure, which is nice. And then it's got their little logo, which is a K and an A embossed on the front and the bottom corner. It's a little
Yes.
mysterious, very sleek. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot too, and I'm about to write in it a
I
whole
thought I was
bunch.
going to get to use it, but Mitch just swapped that sucker.
I said I want to take notes in this, and you said okay. That is literally the conversation we. Jesus Christ, that is literally the conversation we had. I'm slurring. Uh-oh. All right, go ahead. What's next?
All right, so I have a list of shout outs from some awesome people that have sent us some awesome stuff. So, listener mail.
Listener mail.
So first we've got a shout out to Jackie L, who actually sent us a package in the mail.
Oh, yeah, she did.
At our P.O. box.
Woo! We'll give that out in a little bit.
Yeah, and it's in the show notes too if you want to
Yes.
scroll down there.
I did
look
put it in
at
the show notes.
Yeah, so she sent us, she makes polymer clay stuff, and she made some polymer clay mushrooms. So the mushroom caps are made out of polymer clay, and then it's on top of wine corks that make the little stumps, and they are super cute.
So we got wine bottle closers from Jackie L.
Yeah, little corks. They're
Thanks,
super
Jackie,
cute.
and keep commenting on Facebook. We've seen you doing it. We haven't responded much, but
Hey, girl, hey.
we're seeing it. We're just really busy. Sorry. Just keep doing it.
All right, and a shout out to Chef Matt Welsh for his weird place name suggestions from West Virginia. I've totally added those to our list.
Hey, Shelf Matt. Shelf Matt?
Chef.
Chef Matt.
And follow him on Instagram. His Instagram's really interesting. He's sort of like a traveling chef. It's really neat. And thanks also to Rebecca M for the awesome iTunes review. And she made some show suggestions and some beer suggestions. And I've added those to my list, and I'm very excited.
Rebecca getting a shout out.
Yes, and thank you also to Nan G for the funniest freaking iTunes review that I've read in a while. I read
did
that
like
to
that one a
Mitch.
lot.
He laughed. It was great.
I chuckled.
And then also, a big thank you and shout out goes to Amy D, whose email was in fact titled, and this is a quote, Bourbon and Nicolas Cage. And if you think I'm not clicking on that email, you're wrong. She had a real life Nick Cage sighting in the wilds of Texas, y'all.
Texas.
I'm also having a problem.
Texas.
Yeah, so if you have a real life Nick Cage encounter, I need to know about it. Send it.
Because we'll tell the story on the
We
podcast,
will.
as is evidenced right now.
All right, so this is her Nick Cage story, paraphrased, because it's kind of long, but, you know. All right, so her husband, so they live in Texas, outside of Austin, I believe. And her husband and son are really active in their local Boy Scout council and troop and all that stuff. Well, apparently there's a Boy Scout camp out there in a place called Bastrop. I can't say that. It's
I don't know what it is.
whatever. It's a little bit about an hour outside of Austin, is what she says.
Send us that in Spanish, and we'll try to decipher it.
Yeah, and the council allowed a movie crew to, pay to film on a portion of their big camp. out there. So it turns out it was a Nick Cage movie. So exciting. And so it was, they were filming the same weekend that the Boy Scouts were cleaning up the camp area for weekend events. So her husband was given a leaf blower and said, hey, go blow leaves. And he walked out there, and they're filming on this side of the camp, and he's over here on this side of the camp just blowing leaves, cleaning up like he's supposed to. And that sucker was so loud and obnoxious that he shut down filming for a long time until they could get him until he was done and shut it off. With that, because the noise was so bad. But it also turns out that Nick Cage is not as bad in person as we have previously thought.
No, I've always heard that he is very nice. He just seems super douchey.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatevs. But the scout group that was there cleaning up with her husband also managed to get a big plaque signed by Nick Cage for their big scoutmaster. So, I mean, hey, Nick Cage sighting. I was happy to hear it. And she also linked us to an article that explains the difference between whiskey and scotch and bourbon. And it was a very interesting article, and I very much appreciated that.
Yes.
All right, so thank you, Amy.
Thank you. You know, we may, because his career isn't going so great, we may be able to get Nick Cage on here to do a guest spot at some point.
Oh, my God.
Maybe he's got some stories about the Lalaurie mansion.
Dream guest, y'all. If anybody,
if we can, we will shut down the podcast if we can just get Nick Cage. Like, we started this with the goal to meet Nick Cage.
We did not, actually. It randomly fucking turned into the Nick Cage fan show.
This might become the Nick Cage podcast. Or maybe I'll have a spinoff. I'll just do a spinoff podcast.
That's great. Anyway, thank you, and once again, if you spot that man out in real life, let me know about it. I'm interested.
Yeah. Let's talk about him some more.
Yeah.
Because we haven't done it enough.
All right. And are you ready for our weird place name?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Today, we're going to the great state of Kentucky.
Kentucky.
I
don't think that's how it's pronounced.
Kentucky?
Thank you.
There you go. All right. We're going to Monkey's Eyebrow, Kentucky.
That's not a real place.
It is a real place.
That's not a real place. Monkey's Eyebrow?
And
all right.
How did it get its name, you might ask?
Yes, hold on. How did it get its name?
Oh, funny you should ask.
Thank you.
Now, the legend says that if you stand on top of the hill and look down at the town looks like it's in the shape of a monkey's eyebrow.
That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Now, the only
Who has photographic evidence of a monkey's eyebrow shape? Do monkeys have eyebrows?
That's the problem. Who the fuck knows? I don't. Do you?
No.
But I have, in fact, seen an aerial map of that drawn out and someone sort of, like, sketching over the top of it, and it does legit sort of look like the top of a
Wouldn't that just be a person eyebrow?
I mean, you'd think. But, I mean, person eyebrow isn't as fun as monkey's
Well, no, just
eyebrow
is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Who was it? Jane Goodall? Was that the lady who lived with apes?
Well,
I almost said Jane Austen, and I almost fucked up.
No, Jane Goodall. You were right the first time.
Okay. Woo.
You know, Gorillas in the Mist. That was her.
Yeah, what was that
Gorillas
band?
and Chimpanzees, I believe.
What was that band name that did that song, Gorillas in the Mist?
I have no idea.
The animated band.
The Gorillas?
It might be. No. Hold on.
Aren't they animated?
Yeah, but I think I might have just fucked up, though. I think I got it wrong, so... You know, just go on with what you're saying. I'm going to Google over here.
Well, that was all. That is the only thing about monkey's eyebrow is it looks like a monkey's eyebrow, so we dadgum called it monkey's eyebrow, y'all.
Well, that's it then. I'm going to find this fucking song now. Hold on. The Lynch Mob. That's who it was.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was awful.
All right, well, that was weird.
Anyway,
and a tangent.
I've done my Googling for the day.
Excellent.
All right, I'm done.
All right, so you ready for the very first story of the night?
Yes.
All right. Well,
I am.
We're going to Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, that's close.
Yes, and we're doing the Bleeding House of Atlanta.
Gross.
All right, so...
Is it a romance story?
No, it's not, but it's real sweet because it's about the 70-something-year-old couple that have been together forever and they love each other dearly.
I'm already know that you're full of bullshit.
Well,
Whatever's happening now.
all right. So on September the 8th of 1987, in a six-room...
Oh, it's almost my birthday.
Almost, but no. In a 6-room brick house located at 1114 Fountain Drive in Atlanta, Georgia, a 77-year-old lady named Minnie Clyde Winston
Minnie
was
Clyde.
taking a shower.
Gross.
And it was late that night.
I'm sorry.
And she was taking a shower, got all clean, stepped out of her bath, and she noticed there was an odd, dark-colored splotch on her bathroom floor. So she saw these splotches on her floor, and it was a little weird, and she was concerned, and she followed it down the hall, and she saw that there were splotches everywhere, on the floors, on the walls, in each and every room, including the basement. So she called her husband, who I think had already gone to sleep at that point. He was 79 years old. His name was William Winston. And he got up and they examined it closer, and they realized that it was blood.
Ugh.
And after confirming that he wasn't cut or hurt, and she wasn't cut or hurt, they did the only sensible thing that you could do after you find an insane amount of blood spattered around your house, and they called the police.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Good job, you two.
Excellent. So the next day, the police arrived. Detective Steve Cartwright examined the house the next morning, and it was said to, in the reports, been spattered in, and this is a quote, copious amounts of blood. So it wasn't just a little drop here and there. It was a shit ton of blood everywhere, and they didn't know where it came from.
Gross.
Yeah. So this is a quote from Mr. Cartwright. Not the burp.
End quote.
Okay, quote. It's an extremely strange situation. I've been on the force 10 years and I've never seen anything like this. That's it.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
fucking shitty quote.
Yeah, well, I'm working with what I got here. And he concluded there were no signs of a break-in. They didn't find anybody in the house that ought not be in the house. He said that really it looked like no crime had been committed there. There were no signs of any wrongdoing. And so they took samples of the blood and they sent it off to the lab. And it came back, and it was found to be human blood. So, shot in the dark.
Oh.
What type was the human blood?
The blood type?
The blood type.
That's fucking horseshit.
Was it A, type O, B, type A, or C, type AB?
Alright, let me set up one of my, what are the squares called when you take and
A
learn
Punnett
blood
square.
type? A Punnett square, there you go. Let me set up one of those real quick in this New Amsterdam notebook and see if I can decide. That won't help me.
It will not because,
I'm going to go with B, type A.
You are wrong. It
Ah,
was
fucking
type
shit.
O.
Type O?
Type O.
That's the universal
Donor.
there. Mm-hmm. I know that.
Yep.
All right, well, are we going to record these again?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me get my phone out.
Well, I got to... Jesus, this thing's hard to open.
I know, and I squished my finger on it earlier, and it hurt like a mother trucker.
Look, I didn't want to tell you this, but that was real funny.
It was not. It hurt so fucking bad.
Oh, no, I overdid it. This thing's hard to pour. Oh, shit.
Did you squeeze your finger, too?
No, I didn't squeeze my finger because I cleared my finger. I need paper towels. Fuck. Give me that right there.
That is what I have been blowing my nose on.
Ugh, never mind. All right. You ready?
Hold on.
This thing is very full. Look what I did.
I need to get it out of crowd mode and get it into personal mode. Hold on.
Oh, look at how full this is.
All right. Go.
Cheers. It's got a little bit of roughness, but it's great.
All right. What a shot.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Mr. Winston had kidney failure, right? Because he was 79 years old and
I mean, are
kidneys.
you asking me?
No, he was. I'm telling
Okay.
you.
Okay.
I'm trying to be conversational, Mitchell.
Oh, well. Right.
Yeah, so he had kidney failure and he had to be hooked up to a dialysis machine every day to filter his blood. So he was their first suspect because, you know, you have to have your blood filtered all the time. Maybe it's his fault that there's blood fucking everywhere. But it turns out that Mr. Winston was type A. So it could not have been his blood and, you know,
Nice.
wasn't his blood. And all of the procedures that he had done for his kidney failure was done at a nearby medical facility, so he was completely ruled out as the source of this crazy ass blood. Not ass blood, but you know what I mean.
There's ass blood coming out of the wall.
Gross.
Oh,
Sorry.
you are so gross.
So, of course, the next suspect.
Nesh Hushback?
Y'all, I'm having
In
a problem.
Texas?
The next suspect in Texas. No. Okay, the next suspect
These aren't
was...
supposed to be this fun.
The next suspect was Minnie, of course, his wife.
Yeah. She's
Well,
the culprit of the ass blood.
Stop. She was also tested, but she also had type A blood, so it could not have been hers either. So the question is, who the fuck's blood was it? How did it get there?
They know it was people blood? For
It
sure?
was 100% people blood. It was type O.
Okay.
So
All right.
Minnie and William received fuck tons of unwanted attention. Just looky-loos and press and media, just everybody trying to knock down their door, trying to find out what happened, what caused this blood bleeding all over their house. And Minnie got fucking fed up with it. She was like, y'all, stop.
Minnie was an old crotchety lady, wasn't she?
Well, I mean, if people were messing with you, like you had just found fucking human blood unsuspectedly all over your house, you tried to get the police to take care of it, and they're just like, I don't know. And then, like, now everybody's coming after you about it. Like, that's got to be annoying.
Coming after is the question there. What
Yeah.
were they doing?
Well, I mean, like, they were calling them at all hours of the night, knocking on their door.
Is your blood running down your walls?
Gross.
Is your ass bleeding,
That's
Minnie?
too far.
I
Anyway.
didn't do it. They did.
But, I mean, the couple never faltered in their story. It was always, I got out of the shower, I saw some weird shit on the floor, I got my husband, we were like, oh shit, it's blood, and we called the police. That has been their story completely, 100% the whole time. They never changed their story. And this is a quote from Minnie.
Wait, are you going to do a voice?
Yeah.
Woo! All right, everybody, hold on. We got to prepare. We got to strap in.
Ready?
Yes. Is it Rob Phillips?
No, it's just Minnie.
All right, fuck it. Go.
Buckle in. All right. I still don't know where the blood came from, and I am tired of all these people asking me all these questions. If anybody comes here today, I am not going to open my door.
Minnie sounds
In quote.
like a performer. Maybe she has a theater background.
Yes.
She was projecting to the back of the auditorium.
Hey, that's what I do.
No, Minnie.
Oh, it's
That's what
what
Minnie
she do.
does. It's what she do.
I'm sorry, y'all. I've had a few.
No, you haven't. You've had.
But yeah, that was Minnie's just fucking pissed and fed up and just wants people to leave her alone about the bloody house. So there are a couple of theories as to what caused this house to bleed and what happened. Okay. A, ghost blood.
Oh yeah, it's got to be.
Paranormal, something
Case closed.
fucking weird happened. Ghost blood. Done.
Yep.
Alright. B is that it came from okay, so Walter, his name was Walter, right? No, Williams. Sorry.
You're asking me?
W names. Ugh,
I didn't
no.
write it down. So.
No, so since William is a kidney dialysis patient, people on the internet are all like, well, he would probably have access to blood
to
as
other people's
donor's
blood?
But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense
That's
because
disgusting.
they're filtering his own blood. Because they're like, since O is a donor, so a donor type, that maybe he would have blood on hand to give him extra blood. That's just not how dialysis works. I'm sorry, Internet.
And that's also not him getting blood.
No.
If you're AB, you're the universal receiver. That's the point. O is the universal donor.
Yeah, but
But why would he have blood?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They keep
I'm poking
saying
holes in the.
No, you're
the thing
not,
here.
honey.
Yes, I am.
You're not, though. You're doing it wrong. But he would have access to the donor blood so it could give it to him because he is A and O is neutral, so he could receive it.
He's O.
No, he's A. The blood in the house is O.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's why you're wrong.
But I thought Minnie was O.
No, Minnie is also A. They are both A. The blood in the house is O.
Oh. I get it.
I feel like we're doing Who's on First here, and you're just not getting it.
Completely by accident, but yes, that's exactly what has happened.
Anyway, both of them have A type. The house is bleeding O. What's going on?
I just want to know the reasoning in people's heads, though, to say he's going for dialysis, so he gets to take donor blood home.
I know. That's why I think it's completely stupid, but...
That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Well,
the hospital's just passing it out.
And you get a blood
You know
bag,
what?
and you get a blood bag.
You know what?
And
We are swamped today. Just take this.
Do this yourself.
This is some universal. We can't give you exactly what you need, but this is just as good. All right?
This is the generic.
Half price. Yeah, this is the generic blood. This is the Walmart brand of blood.
Equate.
Just take it. This
is the Equate blood.
This is Equate blood. Oh, God. All right.
Yeah. All right.
That's
so
really funny.
The next theory is that they had a daughter, right? And she worked in a hospital, and she possibly could maybe maybe have access to human blood through her job there. So my only question is, what kind of fucked up human being had, and what kind of fucked up motive does this bitch have to spread blood all over her parents' house?
Did they test her blood type?
I could not find anything that showed that.
It's that bitch.
No, but each of them have A, and that's their daughter, so there's no way she has O, right?
No, I think that O is possible to be passed on recessively, is it not?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Because you can still carry the genes, I think. I'm not sure, though. I just know that it's almost like red hair.
Yeah, it's a recessive
trait. Like, you both
trait.
have to be recessive, and pretty much neither one of you can have red hair to have a red-haired child. You know, I think it's really similar to blood in that regard.
Whatever. Anyway.
I don't know. Y'all, don't... This is not the Science Spirits podcast.
No, it's not. Anyway.
Science Spirits podcast. Fucking spinoff.
Fun.
I'm sorry.
But, yeah, so I don't get that one right there because I mean, they're like, oh, her motive is to, like, fuck with her parents. Like, I mean, that's stupid. There are other ways to fuck with your parents.
Well, yeah, but that's a pretty good one.
I guess, but, like, I mean, I'm sorry. If the daughter was there and she had access to human blood, theoretically, I'm sure the police fucking checked her out. Like, I mean,
Excuse me.
Stealing blood from a hospital is 100% a crime. They were going to look into that. Yes.
Is it really?
It's theft.
Well, yeah, but
Also,
I mean,
creepy theft.
well, theft, but like I was thinking more along the lines of you're stealing blood and it's some kind of a crime by itself to steal blood, but not just the act of stealing.
I don't
know. I had a weird thought process there.
But anyway, that's some of the things that the internet thinks it is. But it never bled again. The house, like, they cleaned that shit up and it never...
Oh, did they test the house blood type? Do they know what blood type the house... It was O, obviously.
I would assume.
Right? You'd think that.
The house was bleeding.
The house is a universal donor.
Yeah.
First of all, why are they making this a big deal? Why are they not just taking the blood and taking it to a fucking blood bank from the house? The house is giving you blood to donate to literally everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
Isn't it O negative that's the universal donor?
Yeah,
because then it can take
O-negative.
on the positive and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so was the house perfect?
IDK, man. is
Yeah.
all I got from the articles. And you can look up these articles. I mean, it was 87, so I mean, you can still look at the New York Times article on it. It's online.
I
Look
bet
it
their
up.
daughter's still alive. You think we could get her on or something?
No, I'm good.
We could talk to her.
I'm still good.
We could maybe depose her, find out if she did it.
That sounds like a lot of work, babe.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to try. I just, sit her down. Did you do it?
So what do you think happened?
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Do they have any pictures of the blood in the house?
I never saw pictures, but there might be. I personally did not seek out pictures of the blood because
It sounds like bullshit.
it makes me
Personally.
uncomfortable.
If I don't get some Iron Man pictures, some middleman, then I don't believe it.
Well, that's not my fault or my problem. I'm just trying to tell you about the bleeding house.
Oh, well, I
But
follow.
anyway, so that was our story, and you can obviously see where that ties into our anniversary because they loved each other so damn much that they stayed together even though their house was fucking bleeding.
I'm struggling to follow.
Was what I have. So, you want to move on? Or?
This is my proclamation. I'm really struggling to get that metaphor, but I am ready for story number 2.
Awesome. So story number 2 is from Key West, Florida.
Hey, that's a popular place.
It is 100% a popular place.
Florida has actually been a huge downloader of us so far. I don't
yeah.
know if we have friends in Florida, if Florida just fucking loves it.
I mean, weird shit happens in Florida all the time. Maybe it's up there.
This is one of those.
Maybe it's up their alley.
This is one of those Florida anomalies.
Oh, girl, you should just prepare yourself. Buckle down, strap in. Weird shit is about to hit the metaphorical fan. Like, cannot even explain. But I mean, I'm going to because it's a story.
Well, yeah, it's like, all right, well, thanks for listening to the Southern Spirits podcast.
No, okay. We're going to be talking about Carl Tanzler.
Don't know it.
Awesome.
Continue. He
I'ma
might be a
tell
listener,
you.
though.
He's dead, so no.
You don't know that?
No, I do.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to be talking about Carl Tanzler, and he was born George Carl Tanzler on February the 8th of 1877 in Dresden, Germany.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely dead.
Yes. All right,
This
so
is my bad.
in 1920, he married a lady named Doris Anna Schaefer, and they had 2 kids, Aisha Tanzler and Clarissa Tanzler. Clarissa Tanzler.
Clarista. Like a barista.
Yeah, that's how it's spelled. Anyway.
Yeah, well, it's probably Clarista. I think you had it right.
But that second child died
Clarista
of...
explains it all.
Oh, I liked that show.
Remember that? Yeah. 90s
Anyway.
kids.
Yeah. But Clarissa died of diphtheria, so that was a thing.
That's not funny. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It was
sorry.
just reminded
It's
of
just
Eddie
like what-
Izzard, though. When you said that. You got diphtheria. I'm going to crack your bones. Nobody gets that. I'm
No.
so sorry.
We do love
Look
Eddie
up
Izzard.
Eddie
It's a
Izzard
problem.
Dressed to Kill. It was from like 1997.
It's fantastic.
One of the funniest stand-up specials of all time.
Agreed.
I'm sorry. She died of diphtheria. It's not funny.
Continue.
Continue.
Yeah. All right. So, then after that time period, a lot of weird shit may or may not have happened to him during the First World War. And all we really have about his life at that point was from his batshit crazy cuckoo bananas autobiography. So we're gonna
All right.
skip that.
Before we get into that, you said he was from Germany.
Yes.
Was he fighting for Germany in World War One?
Ostensibly, yes.
Okay, you'd think that, but he probably came to Key West afterwards. But I just wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was curious.
Uh-huh.
I was real curious.
Once again, that biography is very fucking weird. So we're just gonna skip over all of that nonsense and
Did you
pick his
read it?
story. Well, I mean, it's not like a long thing, and I read excerpts from it, but it didn't go all the way
So
into
he
it
was-
because I
he was
couldn't
crazy.
follow. Yeah. Oh, batshit. So we're going to skip over that part and pick his story back up in 1926 when he
Okay.
immigrated to the United States.
Okay, so yeah, he
Yeah.
almost definitely fought for Germany.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so he and his family moved to Zephyr Hills, Florida, where his sister had already immigrated. So his sister was already living there. They came to join her.
I used to live on Zephyr Hills Drive in Montgomery.
Yes, well, this is in
That's
Florida.
insanity.
So, no.
Okay, well,
Anyway.
I thought it was interesting.
All right, so in 1927, he actually got a job at the U.S. Marine Hospital in Key West as a radiology tech. So he left his family in Zephyr Hills, so they're still living in Zephyr Hills, hanging out, having fun. And he started that job in Key West under an assumed name of Count Karl von Kassel.
He claimed to be a count.
He claimed to be a motherfucking count.
I want to read his autobiography.
No, he was like,
wanna do it
okay,
real bad.
so, and he was born with the name, George Karl Tanzler. Karl was spelt with a K. Well, he changed that K to a C, and now he is Count Karl von Kassel.
So he went full
Super C.
alliteration.
C. Yeah. So, and yeah, it's weird, but this is why he's calling himself a count. All right. So during his childhood in Germany, and then also a few times while he was traveling abroad in Italy, Tanzler claimed that he was visited by the ghost of his dead ancestor, and this is ancestor in quotes because we don't really know if he's related to this bitch at all, but her name was Countess Anna Constantia von Kassel.
Not
And
even going to
she
write
was-
that down.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Countess von Kassel. She was like a lady in waiting to the nobility. Like she was a fancy countess in the 1400s.
Fancy
Anyway.
bitch.
Yeah, in Germany. So it was that ghost that got this whole fucked up story rolling. So my question for you, shot in the dark, is what did the ghost send Tanzler a vision of? Was it a vision of the person who would kill him? A vision of his one true love? Or a vision of the man who would steal his wife from him?
Let me just crack a vapor trail.
What did the ghost send him a vision
It's
of?
the weirdest fucking question we've had.
Oh, baby, it gets weirder from here.
Give me the choices one more time.
Was it A, a vision of the person who would kill him? B, a vision of his one true love? Or C, a vision of the man who would steal his wife from him?
Person who would kill him?
Wrong.
God fucking shit! I'm already fucked up. God damn it. All right.
I want to try it as a shot, though.
Okay, I'll pour you a shot.
You want to do doubles?
Yeah, we can double up.
Oh.
Well, that wasn't necessary.
Sorry.
All right, hold on. Let me pour me one. Now, I'll hand it over to you. Here you go.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. And we'll just do it together. You want me to video you while we do it?
That's fine.
That way we can each have a video.
For Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, we do put, I don't know why we didn't announce it the first time. We video these to put them on our social media. They go on Instagram mostly. We haven't put anything on Facebook, have we?
That's purely an Instagram thing.
All right, it's an Instagram exclusive, so follow at Southern Spirits Podcast on
Will
Instagram.
you push this cork back in? I don't want to pinch my fingers.
We can't have that now, can we?
I'm sorry.
You just...
I seriously
There we
pinched a nerve. I still can't feel the tip of my ring finger.
Yeah, you may never get feeling back. All right, are you ready?
I am.
I'll video you, and that way we'll each have one to put on Instagram, and then we can do me for real. All right, 3, 2, 1, and you're on video. Yeah, it's rough, isn't it?
Oh, it got my nose.
It's good, but then it gets... Ugh.
Okay.
That is real bad camera work. We are not putting that on Instagram.
All right, y'all.
That was terrible. All right, let me take the one that's actually part of the
Oh.
the actual episode. Yeah, it's bad, isn't it? It's not bad. It's just
no. It tastes really
rough.
good, and then it's like, oh, this is a delicious treat. Psych, alcohol, and it like burned my nose.
All right. Here's the one for the actual me missing. Here we go.
There he goes.
Woo! Oh. Woo!
All right. Let's see if I can keep on with this. So, the answer to the question was it was a vision of his one true love, which is why I picked this particular story.
Oh, well, that's sweet.
Because you're my one true love, Mitchell.
Because his true love was Adolf Hitler?
No.
Oh.
No, it was actually, she revealed him, she
revealed him.
She revealed to him a vision of the face of his one true love, and she was, and this is a quote, notice my annoyed face, quotes, an exotic, dark-haired woman.
Sounds racist.
A little bit, don't you think?
Sounds racist.
Yeah. Or exotic.
Sounds like he's talking about an islander.
Well, yeah, actually. Okay, so...
Mitch wins. Take another shot.
No.
Shit.
So, while he was working under the assumed name of Count Karl von Kassel,
Yeah.
at that hospital in Key West, Mr. Tansler met a lady named Maria Elena Milagro de Hoyos. And she was a local Cuban American.
Hell of a name, though.
I know.
It's a real good one. It's super
I'm gonna
sexy.
call her Elena from now on because
She might be my future wife. Hey.
All right. Thanks, one true love. Fuck you.
Sorry.
Anyway. Oh, I've got the hiccups.
Uh-oh. Hey, power through. The story
Okay,
needs to be told.
I got this. Whew. All right. So she was a local Cuban American woman who was undergoing treatment at that hospital for tuberculosis.
That's upsetting. Can you come back from tuberculosis?
Now, sure. Then, no.
I didn't even know it was like. I'm sure it was like curable, but being
TB
back
is
to
now
100%.
curable, but then it was not. It was most often a very fatal disease. But anyway,
Ugh.
so Tansler saw her in the hospital and immediately believed that she was his exotic, dark-haired woman.
Racist.
And he became completely cuckoo bananas obsessed with her. So Elena was the daughter of a local cigar maker named Francisco Hoyos and his wife Aurora Milagro. And she had
Very
two
nice.
sisters. Thank you. And she was actually married to a man named Luis Mesa. However, he shortly left her after she miscarried their child and moved to Miami. Like the
It's her fault.
total fucking dick he was.
It's her fault. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a Louis the 14th mindset. Is that right?
What?
Henry VIII. I was close.
No.
I was real close.
No, you were not. Baby, no.
It was one of those French guys.
But
He was English as well.
All right, anyway.
All right.
Focus. All right, so like I said before,
Do not drink salty caramel whiskey from Old Smoky.
It's too good.
It's real good. I'm sorry. Continue.
So, like I said before, tuberculosis was almost always a fatal disease at that point in time, and actually, a lot of her family members died from it as well.
It's real common, wasn't it?
Yeah. But Carl claimed that he could cure her because he also started claiming that he was like a doctor.
Yeah. I agree with him.
Yeah, and they were a poor family, and medical treatment was super fucking expensive, as it still is. And so they let this crazy-ass self-proclaimed doctor take care of her.
He was a count
Like you
and
do.
a doctor.
And a doctor.
It's like, you ever see that movie Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah.
Frank Abagnale, who was a lawyer, a doctor, and a pilot,
Uh-huh.
all at once.
Yep.
The same thing. Yeah. Hey, Jinx.
Hey.
It's our anniversary. Yay.
Woo. Anyway, so he gave her a variety of concoctions and medicines, and he actually stole some x-ray equipment and some other like electronic machines from the hospital, and he actually brought it to the Hoyos' home. And he like...
They had x-rays in?
Yeah.
Oh, it was I was still thinking the 1800s.
Yeah,
It was the early 1900s.
Yeah, he was an x-ray technician. If they didn't have x-rays, he'd be fucked.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Whoops. How did he get that job? He's a
Future technology.
true fucking con artist.
Oh, no. So
I want a job that you don't have. But I demand $90,000 a year.
Yeah. So he brought all that shit to their home, and like it just all that was determined to fix her, but couldn't. So anyway, Tansler showered that family with all sorts of gifts of clothes and jewelry and weird shit, just strange. And he professed his undying love for Elena, who did not return the sentiment. Also, can we maintain, just sidebar, he still has a wife and child in Zephyr Hills, Florida, just a short drive away. Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
They are not divorced. They are not separated.
Did we say he was married this whole time?
Yes.
I didn't know he was married.
Oh my God, you
Am
were
I not
not
paying
paying
attention?
attention at all.
No, I'm paying attention. It's just really hard.
No, he moved to Zephyr Hills, Florida, where his sister was living with his wife and children. The
I didn't know they
second
were there.
sentence of the whole thing was in 1920 he married Doris Ann Schaefer
I'm sorry.
and had 2 kids.
I just don't. I can't. Leah, this is so hard.
Yeah, oh, poor baby. You've got to listen to bizarre stories.
I'm
Anyway.
sorry. You're right. My fault. He's got a wife and child.
He has a fucking wife and child just a short drive away, and he's all up in the Hoyos' business trying to cure this lady because she's his exotic dark-haired
Exactly.
woman.
The figure didn't tell him that he was supposed to be happy living with his sister and his wife and child. That figure told him that there was a dark-haired mistress on the horizon with big old titties.
That is uncalled for, sir.
Do you think it said that, though?
No.
Well,
Anyway.
that's my fault.
Well, it turns out that Mr. Crazy Pants Carl was not much of a doctor, and Elena did in fact die of her tuberculosis on October the 25th of 1931.
That's upsetting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Elena.
So Carl Tansler paid for her funeral, and with the permission of her family...
Calm down, man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
With the permission of her family, he also paid to have a mausoleum built for her
Jesus Christ.
in the Key West Cemetery.
As an x-ray tech. I mean, they make good money, but, you know, calm the fuck down. You got a wife and child.
And he had the only key to that mausoleum.
Oh, I don't even want to think about what he did in that mausoleum.
And he visited her every night. It gets worse, baby.
Every
Strap
night?
down. Strap in.
Strap down?
Gets
No.
worse.
I want to strap down. I don't want to go any further. I'm strapped down.
So in April of 1933, so she died in 31, built the mausoleum. So 2 years later, in April of 1933, he decided that he could not stand not having Elena with him any longer.
Gross.
So he crept into the cemetery late at night
Gross.
with a toy wagon,
Nope.
and he loaded
Like a radio
Elena's...
flyer.
You shut the fuck up so I can tell the story.
Excuse me.
So he loaded Elena's putrefied corpse up and drug it home.
Like he pulled it out of the coffin?
Well, it was in a mausoleum, and I
Yeah,
assume,
but they're still in coffins, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he out of the coffin into the wagon, red flyer all the way home.
Out of the coffin. Out of the coffin.
Yeah, thanks.
Right?
Yeah.
Into the wagon. We could do that. We could make that musical.
No thanks.
Yeah.
So he later said that he did this because Elena's spirit would visit him while he sang to her at her grave. And he also said that he was singing her favorite Spanish song, which, can you imagine an old German man trying to sing a Spanish song to this lady? And yeah, okay.
Did anyone
whatever,
ask for
to her
empirical
grave.
evidence of how he knew what her favorite Spanish song was?
IDK, man. IDK.
What empirical evidence?
And that she would often tell him to take her from her grave. Because what
Oh my god.
putrefying corpse doesn't want to just go out on a jaunt in the red flyer?
Why are... I'm gonna throw up.
Well, it gets much worse, love.
Stop.
I'm sorry. Alright, so obviously the remains were not in great shape after 2 years in a mausoleum in Florida, because it gets hot as shit there inside a rock building. So
What was that fucking chuckle?
I'm drunk, leave me alone.
Rock building.
So he went about sprucing the remains up. He strung the bones together with coat hangers and wire, and he put some glass eyes in where the eye sockets are. And as the flesh continued to rot away, he replaced it with silk cloth that he soaked in wax and plaster of Paris. And as her hair fell out, he collected it and made a crude wig out of her own hair, and he slapped it back on the body. And he filled the abdominal cavities and the chest cavities with rags to keep them from caving in. And
I'm
he
so grossed out.
dressed this whole abomination up in Hoyos' own stockings and jewelry and gloves. And
Oh my god.
he kept her in his bed.
I was gonna say, I want to take a brief detour. Allow me this real
Yes.
quick. In the late 90s, early 2000s, there was an HBO series that had to do with like true crime type of stuff, and there was one that was almost exactly like this, where a man's, I think it was his wife though, his wife died, and he kept her remains, like he embalmed her and everything, and kept her rotting corpse and like put air fresheners and stuff inside the body.
Yeah,
and
this
all
guy
that type
did that
of shit,
too.
and kept having sex with the body, and it was fucking gross. And I think we're getting there, and I am just disgusted, and I don't want to keep going, but continue because we owe it to the people. God damn it!
We're getting there. Ooh, okay. So, in the original examination of the body and the report that they put out to the public didn't mention any kind of necrophilic additions to the body. But that was probably just because of the sensitivities of the time. And so in the early 1970s, one of the doctors who was in on the examinations stated in an interview that he recalled a paper tube had been placed inside the vaginal area of the corpse so Tansler could stick his dick in it.
It didn't say that.
It didn't.
Don't you fuck with me. It didn't say that.
It said so he could continue intercourse with the
Didn't
body.
say so he could stick his dick in it. God.
What else are you gonna do with it?
But Leah, you can't be so
wasn't-
crass. You can't be so crass.
He wasn't using it as a place to store his loose change, okay?
In a way, he was. What else was he doing? Where's he putting? Where is he putting his extra? If you get what I mean.
Oh God, gross.
Oh, you started it.
I did. I'm sorry.
Don't.
So like I said, this little part of the story is contested, but I do not contest it at all because what the fuck else are you doing with that dead body in your bed all the time? I'm sorry. It's a thing. Anyway.
It's not a thing.
Well,
It's this guy's thing.
yeah. So, it turns out, though, that you can't just keep a freaky dead lady doll in your house
What?
and
Why not?
get the rumor mill going.
Fucking. Well, yeah, somebody's got to know. Like, dude, you
Yeah.
smell weird.
Yeah.
You know.
So, eventually, in October of 1940, which was
No.
7
No.
years after he brought her home, he has
gonna make
been
it.
living
Not gonna make it.
with this dead lady doll he's
I'm
made
not gonna make it.
for 7 years.
I'm gonna throw up.
So then,
Elena's sister, I'm not sure.
Is there a D?
There's not, but I think I might have misspelled it. I think it's Florina.
Flo. Call her Flo.
Yeah, Flo. Flo heard rumors of Crazy Carl sleeping with his sister's body. And so she confronted him at his home, which is where she found
I'm seriously
the
salivating.
fucking
I'm not okay with this.
insanity that was Elena's corpse.
Mm-mm.
You need to take a break?
No break is necessary. I will vomit for the people. I'm so
Alright,
grossed
so
out right now.
We're going to keep going here.
We have fans. I can't stop. I have to tough it out. This is for you, Jackie. I'm sorry. I'm really...
All right, so Florina called the cops on Tansler, and he was arrested and detained. He was put through a psychiatric evaluation, and he was found mentally competent to stand trial. And he was charged with, and this is a quote, wantonly and maliciously destroying a grave and removing a body without authorization. End quote. But
I don't agree that he was mentally competent.
Okay. It turns out that the statute of limitations for the crime had already expired.
Oh, good.
So
Good for him. Good for him.
So they were forced to drop all charges, and he was released.
Good, Carl.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
So the media went crazy about this story because who the fuck wouldn't? Like, okay, bizarre ass motherfucker keeping this girl in his bed for 7 fucking years after she's rotted. Anyway, and okay, I'm just going to say that you can Google it and see photos of the corpse doll. You 100% can. I don't recommend it, but it is out there if you want to see it.
Nope. I Googled the Falkville Metal Man. I do not need to Google the corpse.
Well, it's out there if you want to. But anyway, the media went crazy about the story, and they actually, fucking assholes, they put Elena's body on display at the Dean Lopez Funeral Home, and it was viewed by over 6,000 people.
The 7-year-old corpse.
Well, 7 years that it was in the house, plus the 2 that it was in the mausoleum.
2?
That he went 7, 8, 9. So she'd been dead for 9 years at this point. Yeah. All right. So,
this is tough.
yeah, they displayed her at this funeral home, and eventually they reinterred her corpse in an unmarked secret location to keep Crazy Carl from stealing her again.
Yeah, because he was free.
He was free and not done with this.
Done with this?
Oh.
Jesus
It's
fucking
not
Christ,
done,
Carl.
Mitch.
Excuse me.
So weirdly enough, though, people thought Carl was super romantic, and they were kind of on his side.
Who is people?
Just the general populace was like, "Oh, he's so sweet, Crazy Carl. He just loves her so much."
So what is wrong with you?
I know, right? So in 1944,
I didn't mean that, Florida. You're
we
good
love
to
you,
us.
Florida.
You're good to us. Keep it coming, Florida.
Gross.
Sorry.
So in 1944, Carl moved back to Pasco County, Florida, which is near Zephyr Hills, where his wife still lived.
He was still married.
Still married. And he wrote that bizarre autobiography that I was talking about earlier, and it was published in the pulp magazine Fantastic Adventures in 1947. And his wife, Doris, supported him financially in his later years.
Doris?
So Doris was
I fucking hate that name. Just right now. It's your fault, Doris.
all right.
No, I'm victim blaming. Doris did nothing wrong.
Doris did absolutely nothing wrong.
It's not your fault, Doris.
But
I don't hate you or your name.
Supporting this crazy ass motherfucker after he's cheated on you with a goddamn corpse.
That's not cheating, though. I mean, there's no emotional connection there. You're right. I've gone past the sick, and now I'm into the. I'm not on Carl's side, but
so
you know,
Carl was granted U.S. citizenship in 1950.
Why?
Because why not?
I mean, if you pass the test, I guess you get it. But did America not have standards about corpse fucking?
I know, right? But anyway, But he never fucking got over Elena. So,
I don't know why that's funny, but it is.
he used a death mask that he had previously taken of Elena. And he made, oh no,
Gross.
he made a life-sized effigy of Elena, and he lived with it until he died on July the 3rd of 1952.
Well, he was only a citizen for about 2 years, so. I mean, America can take that splotch, I think.
So yeah, love never dies.
No, it sure
And
doesn't.
even if it dies, he gonna dress it up and fuck it anyway.
Say, even if it dies, I'm still gonna fuck it. Apparently, it's okay.
So that was Carl Tanzler and his Corpse Bride.
That is one of the grossest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, and that's why I told it to you.
Like, I am more uncomfortable with this story than I was with the slavery Lalaurie thing.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm not fucking around. I'm not putting it on. I literally almost vomited sitting here listening to that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't, like, my mouth is still watering. I mean, it has to do with the drinking, obviously.
Yes.
But it's still, like, I am nauseous.
Fucking
Excuse me,
cuckoo
that's not a word.
bananas.
Nauseated. I am nauseated. Still. But I'm gonna I gotta finish these vapor trails. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going.
So, that was Crazy Carl and his Corpse Bride.
And
And,
they weren't. That wasn't his bride.
Well,
Stop it.
No. But yeah, so you see why I
His
did
corpse
that
mistress.
for our anniversary, because
Yeah, it's super romantic. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. That's your second anniversary gift.
I mean, can I request something else, or
I
are we
mean,
just gonna stick with that?
well, I mean, only if I can request something else.
Yeah, what would you like? Because I haven't given you something.
No.
So, I haven't given you a corpse groom that constantly stays hard because of rigor mortis.
Oh.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, you enjoy that.
You're disgusting.
And you be nauseated for a while.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's all I had for today.
Well, thank fucking Christ. Can we get a toast and get out of here?
We sure can. Today,
Excuse me.
we're going to toast the couple, that sweet, lovely couple from the Bleeding House. And we're also going to toast Elena, but not Carl because he's a fuckhead.
I want to stop you. These stories were in no way romance related. And I'm super pissed that you told me that.
I mean, they were romantical.
We are getting a divorce.
That's fine. Can we still
That's
do the podcast, though?
Yeah, I mean, we'll keep the podcast going.
All right, but
But-
we'll have to change the intro.
This isn't an announcement. We're not getting a divorce.
We're not. We're really not. This is just jokes.
Right. Okay. Anyway, toast. Continue.
All right. Let's lift your goblet high into the air. You ready,
We're
Mitchell?
doing the goblet thing. I've got my vapor trail.
Goblets. All right. Well, it's like
We don't have goblets.
it's a can and a koozie, but
Yeah.
fine.
Continue.
All right. So tonight we toast that couple and Elena.
That couple.
Anyway, let me go from here. All right.
You got it.
A toast. When there's blood on the floors and the walls of your house, better make sure it didn't come from your spouse. If a creepy old ghost shows you a hot lady, don't dig up her corpse. That's real fucking shady. Drink.
I don't know about that one. I mean, you did what you could with the stories, and I liked it as is.
Thank you.
Oh God, I'm gonna throw up before bed.
I'm sorry.
I'm not 100%, but I'm like, let's give it like
I
83.
warned you that it was a fucked up
you didn't.
story. I did. I told you like 6 times today, baby.
Well, no,
that's
you
a
said
fucked up story.
Gross, it's fucked up. But I mean, that's not enough. You know, that's not enough. Just don't tell it if it's that. Well, no,
can you
you're right.
not
We have to
tell
power
that
through.
story?
Everybody deserves this.
How do you not tell that story though?
I mean, I hadn't heard it till now, so a lot of people have not told that story.
Well, now everybody knows, and
Everybody.
Well, like everybody that listens to this,
Yeah. So y'all spread the word.
don't keep dead people in your bed.
Yeah. Tell them that.
PSA.
Tell them also to listen to the Southern Spirits podcast. and to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest at Southern Spirits Podcast. Also follow us on Twitter at S Spirits Podcast. If you have any personal stories or alcohols we should try, send us an email at southernspiritspodcast@gmail.com. We also have a post office box that Leah will give you the address to in just a second. Send us some postcards. And Leah, go ahead and give us that address.
That address is going to be P.O. Box 1743.
That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the other half.
Yeah. No, that's it. Just send it to P.O. Box 1743. We'll figure it out from there. Good luck, everybody.
It's P.O. Box 1743, Hartselle, Alabama. That's Hartselle, Alabama. 35640.
Yeah, send us some shit. You
And
know?
not literal shit. We've been over this
Right.
before.
We're going to say that every time. Don't send actual shit to the P.O. Box. It will fit, and we don't want to get into that.
But if you've got a postcard or mostly
Some fun
postcards,
packages.
but mostly postcards.
Yeah. We would love some postcards from some strangely named places.
From anywhere named places, really, but strange ones preferable.
Yeah. Please send us some stuff. Right?
Yes.
Well, I apologize for getting so drunk this week. This might be the worst I've ever gotten on this podcast, so I'm sorry, everybody. But with that in mind, we will see you next week.
Happy anniversary, Mitch.
Happy anniversary to you.
Bye, y'all.